Good. The guys who didn't work today, Mike, Dana, Jody, you guys know about Nazi, Isaiah Moore, and Kadarius, and Tershawn is not here for personal reasons, not because he's sick or hurt more, so he's fine. All right.
Yeah. Good to have gotten practice in outdoors. We thought we were going to be inside there for a little bit, but nothing to add. Just I'll open it up. I'm ready.
Steve, with Drue, his versatility that you can use there to linebacker, how are you maneuvering that piece of the puzzle around?
Yeah, it's nice to have guys like that can do more than one thing. Right now he's played all three base linebacker positions, and then he's been in, the sub package when he's been in with Nick, plus he's been in there in the Mike with one of the other linebackers. That helps us a lot, and he's a guy, listen, it's all new to him as far as the verbiage and the system, so it tells you that he's pretty intelligent if he's playing that many spots this early.
How about Felix's progress?
Yeah, I think Felix is climbing. I really do. I mean, we all know he didn't get a lot of, didn't do anything in the off season here, and that set him back. I thought he was a little rusty and struggled early. But Joe and I both, as you watch one-on-ones or you watch the team periods, he's flashing now, which is a good thing. There's still a curve there, right, the learning curve. But I think he's doing pretty good right now, yeah.
Coach, you guys unfortunately lost Nazi for the year. Beyond the four guys from last year and Nick Jones, the draft pick, who's pushing to maybe break into that room?
Yeah, I mean, all those guys are playing really. Nick's one you brought up. Echo, I thought, had a really good day the other day. Boodle always gives us everything he's got. Somebody's going to have to surface, that's for sure. We do have guys with some experience now. That would have been a little different a year ago, right? If you start having injuries there, we were all young. I'm really sad to see that happen to NJ. He was really climbing. If you guys notice, he was taking reps with the first group because he had earned it. And he's got a really good corner skill set. I mean, he played safety in college, but so hopefully, we'll pray he gets healthy real quick and gets back. Yeah.
Steve, how much of mentioning Drue being at all three linebacker spots is a little bit of experimentation, but a little bit of, trying to simulate a game as if he would need to go from maybe one spot to the next.
That's a great point. I mean, look, we know he's a guy that's played in the league, right? He's been a starter. And so we try to find spots to get him out there right away. We've got pretty good players there in base now. But we got some packages and we can do some things with him. We'll kind of see how that all evolves. But it's nice to have. It's really nice to have.
You mentioned Felix and his learning curve. For defensive end, a rookie coming into the system, what are maybe some of the biggest challenges he faces in training camp?
Yeah, you know who could answer that better than anybody? George. Because he went through it a year ago, right? But Felix as well. At any position on defense, in my opinion, there's going to be a learning curve, right? Everything's new. The speed of the game, who they're going to go against, learning the guys they're going to line up against. You got to get through defeating your own offensive line and offensive team first. You got to learn a playbook. And I think where he got behind was the one thing about off-season, as defensive coaches, we complain you can't do real football, right? But the one thing about the off-season is you can get a lot of the mental part, get a base, and he didn't have that initially. He's playing catch-up right now.
That kind of took George under his wing. Who's doing that for Felix this year?
I see George talking to Felix. I see Charles. And I guarantee you Mike Dana is, because that's the kind of guy Mike is. Now, he's dealing with his injury right now. But I think all those guys have kind of brought him under his wing.
Hey, Steve, your early impression of Daniel Wise, just what you see from him.
Yeah, quick inside movement, which Joe has stuck out to Joe and I. And we got a ways to go. There's pretty good competition inside there with all those big guys, so we'll see how it all surfaces.
Have you seen improvement from Harry? It seems like he's
Malik?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And today he played, he's playing a number of positions. We're talking about Drue and being in different spots. If you look out there, Malik's in a lot of different spots, too, in different packages. And, here's a guy that's been here for a number of years, so he's heard it. So from the mental part, he's much further ahead than some of the other guys.
Steve, when it comes to the secondary, facing those receivers, just in your eyes, seeing it from the other vantage point, you've seen the receivers kind of be a little more improved, those new guys.
Our guys here? Yeah. There's, there's guys flashing out there, and I'm trying to learn our guys' names, so sometimes I can't get all the rest. But I tell you, Sky, he just pops out now. But we expected that, right? And MVS, but the whole bunch of those guys, they're a challenge for us because you guys know this, but our quarterback makes all those receivers better. So it's great. It's good work for us.
You mentioned red zone as an area you want to improve, and you're working on a lot this week.
Yeah.
Andy said yesterday that he felt like the zones were shrinking, especially for you. Do you feel that way? Do you see the progress?
Yeah, there's tighter coverage. We're a zone match team. I think our guys are doing a better job of that. That's a credit to the guys in the middle that are leading it, like Nick and Brian Cook. They're kind of in the middle of the whole thing. And then our corners playing pretty tight. But I think, rep after rep after rep. We get a lot of passes thrown at us here, so we better get good at it because we certainly get plenty of work.
Has anyone in particular benefited from getting the reps since Chris isn't here on the interior defensive line? That you see
really all of those guys. Joe's kind of kept them on a rotation, not one in particular. Matt was with us a year ago, and it's good to have him back, Matt Dickinson, and I think he'll get more reps as we go here. But we need to find out, what we have in there, and there's some unknowns inside.
Does going up against this offense, is it a double-edged sword in the red zone? As good as they are, that you're going up against the best, but then at the same time, can these guys get demoralized sometimes?
Yeah, I think our guys get over that part of it. What gets tough sometimes is we defend a lot of passes in practice, and then if we go out there the first couple of games and people are going the other way, that's what's more of a challenge for us. But we get as much of that as we can when we do these 10-10-10s, because in those 30 plays, we're selecting what we need to see. That's why you saw some more red zone and some more run plays today.
Steve, when it's hot outside, tempers flare a little bit.
Yeah.
We saw a couple of your defenders going up against Kelsey after the play. What's your message to those guys?
It's all good. The one thing about, I'm talking about the whole team now, the one thing about all our guys, I think, in my opinion, they all respect each other. And so when it gets heated for a moment, that's just the competitive juices and some pride coming out. But I always see them kind of take care of it afterwards, and that's the best thing.
Coach, especially like the 3 straight padded practices, can you speak to the value of these 10-10-10 practices for your guys?
Yeah, I think Coach Reed has a really good pulse on when to pull off, when to push, when to make it heavy. We went those, I guess it's been 3 in a row with the pads. And I think doing this here gives us a chance to do a little bit more with the mental, get the bodies back. You got tomorrow off, and then we can, I'm sure in Coach Reed's mind, we get after it a little bit next time we come back. Everybody good? Yeah.
Everybody, how's it going?
Good. So, Drew, within the new defensive system, Steve Spagnuolo said you're playing all 3 linebacking positions. How are you adjusting so far? You're just trying to get accustomed to this scheme and getting yourself in the right place.
Well, man, it's an honor to be here and playing for Coach Spags and the defending champs. And we just have so many great guys in that room that I'm trying to learn from each and every day. It's certainly different than the defense I played in LA, but football's football, and you pick up on things as you go throughout your career. And certainly there's things during my time at Notre Dame and throughout my time in the league that I've picked up on that have kind of helped me, translate and learn this defense. But it's a process nonetheless.
What have you picked up from the Chiefs that you are applying that you maybe haven't picked up anywhere else that you've played?
Man, I think there's just certain techniques, certain uses of the hands. For instance, Coach Daly during spring camp switched the positioning of my hand in striking. And so it's just small things you'll pick up from coaches, from players throughout your career. And certainly there's a lot of great guys specifically within our room that I'm certainly learning from every day.
Drew, it looked like the day that Nick was out, I think he was sick, you had the green dot.
Yeah.
How do you feel like that particular workout went for you?
Yeah, I thought it went really well. I thought guys were lined up. We were playing fast. Certainly there's always corrections to make, but it felt smooth, felt comfortable. Felt a lot better than the spring when I was learning it for the first time.
Drew, how many teams were a possibility for you as a free agent? And just what about Spag's system sort of was, I guess, intriguing for you?
Yeah, there was, at any given time, there was probably 10 or 11 teams involved, and as dominoes fell, that list shrunk, but there was about 5-6 teams that last day I was kind of choosing between, and I think just talking to Coach Spags, talking to Brett Veach, talking to Andy Reid, I just felt really valued here. Felt like they were going to use a lot of my strengths, maximize me as a player here. and that excited me and ultimately led to my decision to come here.
Is there added juice when you go from one division team to another?
Certainly, yeah. You can't wait. You can't wait to play them for sure.
After going through those games, and there were a lot of exciting games that came down to the wire, what's it like to come here and be with this team as opposed to going up against them?
Yeah, it's great. It seems like we couldn't beat them in the fourth quarter or overtime over the past 2-3 years. Division games, they're always exciting. They're always fun. They're going to continue to be, and so I'm excited to be part of Chiefs Kingdom and go after another ring this year.
How's the neck feeling? You got a little bit, whatever the.
Oh yeah, this has nothing to do with that. No, it's just a football play the other day, and got jammed up a little bit, but it's doing well. Thanks for asking.
Drew, you said that Steve, Brett, and Andy sort of felt value. Is there something that you feel like you've put on tape that has not gotten the respect that you might want to be able to show in this system?
I mean, I think just my versatility as a linebacker, my ability to cover, my ability to rush, my ability to play the run, and my instincts. That's one thing you can't teach physically is instincts. And on the defense, maybe you have to have the most of. It's linebacker when it comes to instincts. And so I think all of those things, along with some intangibles, some leadership, I think they saw those. They affirmed those in me throughout the process, and I certainly agreed with them and felt like this was the best place for me.
Drew, I'm sure you had an impression of the Chiefs in their locker room from having played them for 4 years, but how has that matched up with what you've seen now that you've actually gotten here to camp?
It's just hyper competitive around here. Like, winning is absolutely everything. It's kind of egos aside. It's like winning is the ultimate goal. The picture of that Super Bowl ring is on the start of every single slide of every presentation. Whether it's Coach Spags like saying, hey, let's change this up schematically just to try to fool Patrick to win this day at practice. Like, winning is everything to them, and you certainly see that with the amount of close games they win on a year in and year out basis.
Any impressions of Andy's camp so far?
It's hard, man. It's hard. It's a lot tougher than the previous 4 camps I've been a part of, for sure.
What makes you say that?
I mean, he just maximizes every minute of on-field time. I think per the collective bargaining agreement, we get like 4 hours, and we're going to be on the field for exactly 4 hours. You're going to be out here for 2.5 hours. You're going to be in there for an hour and a half. And so he grinds you. He gets the most out of you. And, that ultimately goes to winning, I think.
How sore do you feel like the 3 straight days have passed?
Man, sometimes you just feel like a turtle walking off the field, man, just slow and steady. But you take it day by day and try to make the most of your opportunity.
You said they have the Super Bowl ring at every projection. I mean, when you see that, what's that mean for all those guys to be like, okay, this is the standard and we move forward from here? That's got to be pretty unique.
Yeah. I mean, as a competitor, like, your ideal dream is to be a world champion. And so a lot of these guys in this locker room have done that. I'm excited to join up with them, learn from them, and be a part of this championship culture. And it's, as Coach Reed says, anybody can do it one time, but going back-to-back sets you apart. And that's what we're after. Got to keep the chip on our shoulder this year because everybody's obviously going to be out to get us.
Last 2 up front here.
I know you said how difficult it was, but as a player, is that something you appreciate, that you're maximizing your time out here and you're getting the work done necessary so you guys can hit the ground running when the season starts?
I think there's something in us as human beings, when we do hard things and put that in our reservoir, we're able to draw from that later. And I think that's what Coach Reed's all about, is building this foundation in camp so that when we're in Jacksonville week 2 and it's 90 degrees, 80% humidity, we're able to kind of draw from that well of difficult circumstances throughout training camp and apply it to those present situations.
Drew, you kind of have a unique perspective on this. When you go up against Travis Kelce as a defender, covering, guarding, everything, trying to get him down, what's it like? I mean, how different is it versus other guys?
He's such a unique, fascinating, incredible player. He's so unchoreographed in a lot of his movements. He'll stem you in, and you're thinking he's definitely going over, and then he's going back out. And so he's just a rare combination of speed, size, and strength. And he's got a lot of finesse to his game that make him really difficult to guard.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, everybody.
Felix, just where do you see your progress right now It's a day-to-day process. At the same time, I'm learning every day. I'm trying to get better every day as I go. So at the end of the day, it's a day process. I'm just learning the playbook and technique-wise. So yeah.
How much did not being able to participate physically in the OTAs affect you coming into training camp?
Affected me quite a bit. Not gonna lie, because a lot of the rookies obviously had to learn technique-wise, go on the field full speed and stuff like that, and I had to like jump back because of my injury and stuff like that. But now I'm in here. Now I'm in training camp, so it's just training camp's a great time to be. Time to get your footwork down, get everything down, so to be ready for the preseason and the season.
Steve Spagnuolo just said you're climbing, and he thinks that you're flashing now. Do you agree with that assessment that you're climbing and flashing?
I agree that I'm learning every day. I'm learning exactly what the coaches have for me in store, just learning technique-wise. So, and I thank him for saying that. At the end of the day, that I'm still learning. For me, I'm still not there yet, and I got some learning to do. So yeah.
How close is this to what you expected would be your first training camp?
How close? Obviously, I had to step back from OTAs, so that it's kind of a jump back, but I'm slowly getting into the hang of it.
You come in as a first-round draft pick. Are there expectations you feel you have to live up to? Carrying that with you?
I'm just blocking that out. At the end of the day, I'm just drafted here to play, so I'm drafted here to learn, play, and learn the defense.
Are you on the same sack dance?
I will, yeah.
Anything else? Last one.
The biggest challenge is physical or mental?
It's a bit of both. Obviously, coming from college, you're not met with the same competition as people in the NFL because those are people that are the best of the best. And mental-wise, too, there's a lot of more things I've learned from jumping from Kansas State to here, like technique-wise. And plus I was in a 3-4, and now we're in a 4-down defense, so there's a lot of more stuff. And I'm dropping back, so it's a lot of stuff that I got to learn. So, yeah.
In the back to close it out.
I've seen Deuce has been making some noise down in Dallas. Have you stayed in contact with him? And
yeah, we talk almost every day. He just tells me his experience with him with the Cowboys. I tell him my experience I have here. So yeah, we keep in contact a lot.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
So how is camp going for you? Because last time we talked to you, you were with the rookies. Now you're with the vets. How's it going for you? How you feeling?
It's going pretty good. I think OTAs have helped me be able to adjust just because kind of had the same mentality in OTAs that we have now.
Dealing with camp, dealing with with the pads on, how different was that for you in going through this process?
Not too much different. I love football and can't play football without pads, so it's just another part of the game.
How much does it add to it to be able to practice in front of fans?
It's pretty cool, honestly. I know Arrowhead, they have a huge fan base, so just to get a little glimpse of it right now, kind of give me a little head start to prepare for the games.
Rashee, where do you feel like you still need to fine-tune some things?
Honestly, just certain snap counts and being able to, adjust as far as, when the defense moving, I need to be able to adjust my certain routes.
There are certain things that every quarterback is going to prefer. Like, what have you learned in the week so far about maybe where Pat wants you to be or do in certain places?
He expects his receivers to be in a specific spot at a specific time, and he's going to bomb the ball. So don't look back and run, look up and run.
Is there along those lines? What is he like as a teacher, as far as teaching you what you need to know?
He's a great coach, great brother off the field, and he's just gonna let you know exactly what he's thinking, so that you can basically be in his head on and off the field.
Matt Nagy talked
as far as getting into his head.
Can you say that again?
Do you feel like you're getting there as far as getting into his head?
Yeah, I'm getting. I'm becoming real confident. I think he can see that.
Rashee, Matt Nagy talked about the timing of Patrick. How important is that, and how have you gone from that adjustment from college to now?
I mean, like I said, just learning how to run out of certain routes and running full speed, just running full speed the whole play.
Do you feel pressure to do what Pat wants and to learn from him, learn the offense so that you can, make an impact? I mean, is there internal pressure you put on yourself because of that?
Honestly, I put pressure on myself every day just to come outside, to come to practice and get better. But it's not necessarily pressure from Pat or Travis or anything like that. They kind of real welcoming, and they understand that I'm new to the system, so they're just gonna help me, catch up to their speed so I can be a vet as soon as I can.
What's been your favorite day of camp and why? And what's been your worst day of camp and why?
I don't necessarily think there's been a worst day at camp. Every day is hard work. I mean, that's kind of comes with it. And then, my best day, favorite day, is kind of when I have any kind of impact on the field on offense.
I guess when you say that, when did you sort of feel like that was starting to come on in camp?
When I caught my first touchdown from Pat, I was kind of like, yeah, I could do this.
Have you thrown up at all since day one?
Nah.
Back in pre-draft, when you got together with Patrick, how much of that stuff are you applying out here?
A lot of it. Like I said, regardless, whenever Pat is throwing the ball, he's going to be coaching at the same time. So it just he translates that to the practice field as well.
Same way he was doing it back then. Is he pretty similar personality back then as he is now?
Yeah, if I got a question and if I'm not running the route exactly how he wants it, he's going to let me know how he wants the route run, and then I'm going to keep doing it until we got repetition and constant on that route.
Okay, thanks, Rashee.
Thank you.